Hi everyone, welcome back to Nikki Uncut. This is episode 3 and I am going to get ready to go to dinner. I have a dinner date with some friends. Me and Mitch are going to go to basically like a double date, I guess you could say. But it's with some close friends. So I'm going to do a makeup look aimed a little more for like an evening out. So I have my skincare on still. I actually worked earlier today, so I came home, just washed my face. I just need like a reset because it's so hot outside and I just felt like I couldn't really, I don't know, I wanted like a fresh start for tonight. So I washed my face, I have my skincare on, and I'm going to continue to test out this primer. It's from Colleen Rothschild. It's the Black Tourmaline Face Primer. I have mixed thoughts on it, but yeah, I keep testing it out. During the summertime, which is when you're watching this video, we're in the first week of August. It is so hot. It's so hot. I know I talk about this a lot, but this is the time where I actually will test out primers just to see if they make a difference, you know? It's like the best time to test out whether or not a primer is good or if it's going to actually do what it says it's going to do. So this one, you know, I threw out the package of it, but it's supposed to have like all kinds of claims of, I don't know, doing something, but yeah, it's supposed to be like a smoothing makeup primer, but I don't know what the black tourmaline comes in and what it's used for, really. I have to read up about this more. So I can't give you any like educated notes on this primer. I'm just testing it out currently. So for my makeup look, let's start with these brows. Let's get these brows in a better spot. So I'm going to clean them up and kind of reshape them with the Clé de Peau concealer in the shade 4 Almond. Now this concealer is thick, like very, very thick. And I'm actually going to take the concealer brush that it was, I think it was like launched with this brush, or maybe this brush came after, but it's a really nice concealer brush. I got this for free in PR. So I'm just going to shade under my brows because I like that look of having a clean bottom edge to my brows, especially because I fill them in so heavily that it just kind of gives it more shape. And like I said, like a cleaner look. So I go right underneath my brows just to shape them even more. And it looks like there's something that's pilling on my eyelid. So I'm going to have to note that whatever my skincare combo was that I just slapped on my face before this video is not quite getting along with each other. Yeah, I'm definitely having a little bit of pilling. I'm also just having some like skin issues in general. I'm going to have some like real talk with you all. I don't know what is happening with the lower half of my face, but it's starting to really, really concern me. And I don't know what it is. I've tried to self-diagnose, which is never a good idea. Don't recommend it. You should always just like try to see a dermatologist or, you know, someone like that's actually a professional in that kind of field. But I've been low on time, to say the least, so I haven't been able to like go and make an appointment to see someone. But basically what I'm having right now, and you could probably see it on camera, I can't really hide it anymore, to be quite honest, but I have like a flat red rash right here on my chin and right here on my chin, but then also kind of travel to like this very outer corner of my mouth. It's like a dry patch. It feels like eczema and it looks like eczema when I'm looking up, when I'm trying to self-diagnose, which again I shouldn't do. But I've never had this before in my life. I've never had like sensitive skin. I've always said like I could throw anything on my face and it never gets irritated. Well, times have changed, apparently. And I don't know. I guess from what I read that you can develop different allergies to food, topical products, you know, all those things just at random later on in life. So maybe I'm experiencing that and I'm just not fully believing it. But I don't know. Either way, I'm trying to like self-diagnose and I really shouldn't do that. I should just go and get it checked out because my face is obviously more and more important to me as I continue to post on my channel and stuff. And obviously it is in general, like my face is, you know, you don't want like things going on with your face. It can be very stressful when you have random things that are happening that you don't know where they're coming from. But if you have any ideas of what it is and you want to help self-diagnose me or help in that and aid in that process, please feel free to leave me a comment below, because we all know I'm going to take a long time to actually go and have a professional check out my skin. Just keeping it real. Okay, my brows are looking better. They look better on the monitor. Let me fill them in even more. I've been really liking the Lawless Hold Up Soft Set Creamy Brow Wax. I wear the shade medium dark, but I will say, you know what I like the most about it is this tiny little wand. Like, this little wand is perfect. So I'm just going to brush this up into my brows just to make them look a little more hair-like. Give them more dimension, give them like a 3D kind of look. I've also been having really bad brow days recently because of how hot it is outside. You all know I wear a ton of sunscreen, I wear a ton of skincare, and then on top of it, I do have, my skin is more on the oily side. I do get very shiny throughout the day. And my brows, since I don't have a lot of brow hair, it's more like skin, and then I'm tinting that skin. I'm putting like, you know, brow pencils and brow pomades on top, not pomades, brow waxes, I mean, on top. And then, so that's already like quite a combo, right? But then you add in the crazy heat that we're experiencing in Southern California. And it's a recipe for my brows to just like melt off my face. So I'm having a hard time with them currently. And I'm also noticing like the products that usually hold them up really well throughout the day are not doing the best job anymore. So I think I'm just going to start switching out my brow products since we're still in summer, and test out more products that hopefully will be longer lasting on my brow type. And my brow type is really specific. I'll tell you right now what my brow type is. It's sparse. So that's my brow type. But anyway, they look better right now. We'll see how this holds up. For foundation, I'm going to go back to a product that I kind of like go through periods where I use it a lot, and I go through periods where I don't use it at all. It's the Patrick Ta Cream Foundation and Finishing Powder Duo. I have the shade Light Medium 2. So like I said, I go through periods where I love it. This is what it looks like. And then I go through periods where I'm like, I'm not sure. But before I use it, I'm going to take a fresh and clean e.l.f. Duo Complexion brush and another product that I'm currently testing out heavily. It's the Milk Pore Eclipse Mattifying Setting Spray. So I've been liking doing this. I spray my brush and then I dip into that pretty thick cream product, and it just makes it go on. That's probably way too much. It makes it go on just super easy. I mean, it just glides into my skin like butter when I wet my brush first. So it's kind of been, I don't know, making me want to use this product a lot more often again. So the other thing about this weird skin irritation that I have is I've had to switch out all my cleansers to like really gentle, very like bare bones, basic products. And my friend Sam Ellis, she's a dermatologist on YouTube, but she's also a dermatologist in real life. She just came out with a skincare brand called Prequel. And of course I got sent their first couple products in PR, and I have to say, those products have been extremely comforting to whatever this situation is that's on my chin. The cleanser I've been using at night. So what I do is I kind of like, I lather it on my lower half of my face and I melt my makeup off, like my sunscreen and all that stuff. And then I rinse and I repeat it, and I just use it as like a double cleanse. And it's the only cleanser I've been using since this has happened. that hasn't given me a burning sensation. Like literally, the other cleansers that I'm used to using, that I use all the time, and I've never had a problem with ever, they have been burning my skin like no other. And not on the top of my face, just this lower half. So, you know, like I said, my skin's just having a moment in time where it hates me. And I am struggling with it. I'm coming to terms with it, and it's a struggle. But I'll link her products and her line in the description box of this video so you can actually check them out. Oh, the other thing that's been saving the chappedness that I'm experiencing on my face is, I can't remember the name of it exactly off the top of my head, but it's basically, it's like a petroleum based like a skin emollient, and it's like a multi-purpose. It comes in a big tube, and I've been using it as a lip balm. My lips have been so dry. I'm telling you, there's something going on. I don't know what it is, so I can't explain it. But that on my lips, and then I've been slathering it on the lower half of my face, like on my jaw, on my chin. And it's been like so comforting to whatever this irritation is. And yeah, I'm already going through a lot of that product because I'm using it every single day and like living in it. There's also like a lotion that's for your face and your body. Been using that underneath that at night. So I've just been like streamlining and taking out all like active ingredients in my skincare routine while this is happening to my face. So I cut out my retinol, which is like, I want to cry thinking about that and just having to do that because I like live on retinol. I love retinol. I bathe in it practically. But I'm still doing my retinol like all down my neck and my chest, and I always do it on the top of my hands just to like, you know, keep them from aging, I guess. But yeah, I've cut out all my actives, like even my vitamin C in the morning, I cut that out. Foundation looks pretty good. I cut out, what was the other thing I was using? There was one more active I was using. Oh, I cut out like all my exfoliating toners. So like all my BHA toners, I'm not doing those right now. And you know, I like love my BHA toners, especially the Naturium one. I like live off of that stuff. So yeah, I'm cutting that out and just trying to be as bare bones as possible with my skincare in hopes that it's going to help this situation. I'm using the same Clé de Peau concealer under my eyes. And I'm going to do a touch, just a touch. Even though this is lighter, I'm just going to highlight my chin. Just a little bit around my nose. And go back to that Sephora 19 brush. And just blend it out. This is a really thick concealer, but it's also very flawless. Like if you put it on your eyes, you will look completely flawless. So I've been really liking it lately. So I'm just gonna blend it out. So I had to put on my dress. Like this is the dress I'm gonna wear to dinner tonight. And I put it on ahead of time because this is what I would classify as a face ruiner. Like, you know, those clothing, like the clothing that you have that just ruins your face. Like you can't get it over your head and your face without destroying whatever's on your face. So like turtlenecks are the biggest, you know, offender of ruining face makeup or like just taking off your skincare in general. And then this dress is like, first of all, it's so tight. It's it's inhumane how tight this dress is. Like, and it's not even like the smallest size they make. This is like a Love Shack fancy dress. I don't own it. I rented it. It's extremely expensive. I rented it from Rent the Runway. I'm testing out Rent the Runway right now and seeing if it fits like my style and like my lifestyle. So far, so good. But I'm not sure I'm gonna do it forever, to be honest. So it's like a monthly, if you don't know what Rent the Runway is, it's like a monthly subscription where you can either pick like different tiers of like how many pieces you want to rent per month. I think I did choose the 10-piece option. So I get 10 pieces a month And it's like, I think I have a promo. I got some kind of promo when I first started out. So I know it's going to be more expensive than it is right now. But right now I'm paying $144 a month for 10 pieces. And I know that sounds like a lot. But when I tell you, I was spending so much money just buying new tops and new pieces to wear for like my YouTube videos, just so I don't look like I'm wearing the same thing every day. It ends up adding up so much. And I would rather not have so much clothing that I don't even have room to store. And also it's just like, it's obviously better for the environment to like buy secondhand, which I do a lot for like vintage clothing and vintage t-shirts and stuff. But also like to rent pieces like this where, you know, I'm going to use it a couple times and I'm going to send it back and then someone else is going to wear it a couple times. And it's overall better for the environment. Obviously it's much better, but it's also great for me because I would never buy this dress full price. I think this dress full price is like almost $400. Unless it's a special occasion, I would not. No, that's not going to happen. But when I'm renting it and it doesn't make any difference in what I pay monthly, of course I'm going to indulge and like rent it, you know? So anyway, it's just fun. It's fun to like get fancier pieces and not have to actually physically buy them and just send them back when you're done. So the product I just put on as my base is the matte shadow stick from Girlactik in the shade Taupe. So I'm going for like more of a cool tone, taupey eye look, but very simple because I want my lip to be the statement, and it's one of my favorite Clé de Peau matte cream lip colors. What shade is this? Cordyline? 115 Cordyline. So that's gonna be our main focus of this look. So I'm gonna blend that out. Just make it nice and soft. Like I said, I don't want my eyes to be the center. I want them to be like a little more clean, understated, but in a cool tone way. So blending it out, I'm gonna do one more layer. Just one more. And I'm blending it out, I forgot to mention, with the BK Beauty A503. So just nice and soft. And now I'm going to take one of my favorite palettes. It's the Girlactik, the Essential palette. This is, in case you don't know, I know I've talked about this a lot, but I have a bundle with Girlactik, and it's basically 6 of my favorite products from the brand. So this is in my bundle for good reason, because it's like such a stunning palette. Let me just grab a couple clean brushes. So what I want to do is add a little bit of ballet and skin to this eye makeup look. So I'm going to take a BK Beauty 203 brush, like a small flat brush, dip into ballet, and press this on top of that taupe matte eyeshadow stick. I love this combo so much. And I'm normally not like the biggest cool tone makeup girl. I love my warm tones. I am a warm tone, a warm undertone. So I gravitate towards that kind of makeup the most. But every time I do a cool tone eye makeup look, or like a cool tone lip or a blush, I'm always in love with it. So it's good to switch it up. Okay, so just patting this all over. Oh, it brings out my eyes in a weird way. Probably because this has like a slight purple undertone to it. Cool undertone. I feel like it makes my brown eyes pop. Okay, so this is on, and I'm going to switch to skin. So skin is like this, the color right below it. It's like a very neutral mid-tone brown. Go back to the A503 brush and just start with a little bit of this at a time. Just blend it out towards my temple. You're gonna hear a really loud plane above me in a second. And then just repeat it on the side. And since this is uncut, you're gonna see all the blending, like the whole process. And, you know, it's a process for sure. Like, you have to take your time if you really want to blend your makeup and make it look, you know, perfect. So normally this is what we cut out of videos because it just takes so long. It takes up so much time. Like, our videos would be, you know, 3 times the length if we kept all the blending in with all the talking and with the mistakes and with the airplanes and all the things that, you know, happen throughout a shoot. All the things you can't really control, right? But the beauty of like these uncut videos is just, we're not going to cut it. It's just going to be in. Which means if my stomach growls because I'm hungry, you're going to probably hear it because the microphone is so close to me. Okay, so that's on. I'm going to grab a pencil and I want to start with one of my favorites. This is Total Taupe from Makeup Forever. This is a lip or eye pencil. I'm going to start by pushing this along my top lash line. But I like to lay it flat because then I get a thinner line rather than like going in directly with the pointy side of the pencil. I'm just going to lay it flat and drag it as close to my lashes as possible. But the reason why I really like this pencil, and I have one in my makeup kit too, I actually use this pencil the most on light blue eyes or really light green eyes or just light eyes in general. If I'm doing like a no makeup look, which I do a lot for work, a lot. But what it does is it just creates this really soft, very understated, just soft shadow on the eye. It's like an undetectable way of lining your eyes. It just brings them out, but you can't really tell that there's liner there. Anyway, it's a really great shade pencil. And if you're a makeup artist out there watching, I highly recommend you pick up this shade because you'll get so much use out of it. Like even for me right now, I'm using it for more of like a evening out look. So I'm layering it, but it's just a great tone, really great tone. Just gonna run a teeny bit on this little outer quarter of my bottom lash line. And then repeat the steps on this side. I just want a really soft liner look, which is, you know, very different for me. I normally go for like a impactful liner. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this side out a little bit more. And I'm not going to clean up this edge yet because I'm going to go back to my Girlactik palette. And there's a tiny little brush that I want to use for this. It's the Refer 23 brush. It's like this itty bitty little mini pencil brush. I'm going to dip into Bark, which is a really great deep neutral brown. Almost has like a gray tone to it too. But I'm going to layer this on top of that taupe pencil. And it's going to look messy for a minute before I actually clean it up. But I want like a focus on this outer quarter of my top and bottom lash line, just to kind of like widen my eye and bring it out more. But this brush is so good for like really fine smudging and detailing work. Nice. Okay, great. So that is on. I'm happy with that look. Now, with whatever's left over on my concealer brush, I'm not dipping into any more concealer. This is my favorite trick. So I'm just going to take this flat brush and just gently pull out that wing. And it like leaves behind this little itty bitty tail of a wing. I need a little more product on the side. Let's try this again. Here we go. Just want it subtle. Very, very subtle. Going back to that blending brush from Sephora. Just blend out that edge. Just to soften it a touch more. And, you know, like I said, this is the whole process, so you can feel free to skip through if you've seen enough blending. I totally understand. I will not be insulted, but makeup is a process, that is for sure. Patting that down a little more. Make sure we're even. Okay. Grab my lash curler from Refer. Curl these guys up. I like to do a combination of a couple twists and then I hold it. I aim for 10 seconds, but depending on like how big of a hurry I'm in, I don't always get 10 seconds in. And then no surprise, I'm gonna use the One Coat Wow from Huda Beauty, the mascara. This mascara is just ridiculously good. So good. These are my good lashes. These are my not so good lashes. This eye cooperates so well. Whereas this eye, low-key, I think hates me. Like if a mascara is going to clump, even a really great formula, it'll only clump on this eye. But it's okay. Can't win them all. Like for some reason it loves to clump on this outer corner of my eye. Okay. Mascara is on, and I'm gonna do my bottom mascara, my bottom lashes, but not yet. I'm gonna set my makeup first. So to set my makeup, I grab my trusty, good old, very old school Laura Mercier powder. This is the translucent powder. It's the original formula. I've talked about this before, but I have like a limited edition packaging. So if you can't find this exact packaging, I promise you it's the same formula. I just have I think it's like a holiday one, maybe? I can't remember which one this was, but I'm gonna take a whole bunch of my powder puff and just swirl it into the palm of my hand. And then press it under my eye. I also have really bad allergies. I'm kind of a mess at the moment between my skin irritation and then my chronic runny nose because I have just chronic allergies. I don't know. Just struggling a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna set my T-zone because it is so hot outside still. Even though I'm going out at night, it's still like just so hot. So I want to make sure that I don't look super shiny by the time I get to dinner tonight. So I'm going to set my T-zone. And then a little bit on the top of my chin. Even though my skin there is pretty dry and irritated, the center of my chin is okay. And I don't want that to be shiny. Okay. Now we're going to move on to bronzer. And I'm actually going to go back to a favorite of mine. I love this Patrick Ta one. It's the Patrick Ta Cream Contour and Powder Bronzer Duo. It's the shade She's Bronzed. I'm going to use a little bit of both. So for the cream part, I love a BK Beauty, which one's this again? A 107. This is the short travel size one, but it's clean and readily available. So I'm going to dip this into the cream. And just hit the top of my forehead. Now I try to get this as close to my hairline as possible so I don't see, you know, where it starts and stops. But that can be a really big pain if you have blonde hair, so I totally understand the struggle with this. I have a ton of clients that are blonde and you always have to be super careful not to get it into their blonde hair because getting makeup out of blonde hair is wow hard, like beyond difficult. And you know, it's also just like very time consuming too, so you have to be careful. Just gonna warm up my cheek. My face is coming to life. So I like to do a pushing motion. I like to push it into my skin and kind of tap it on because this is going on top of powdered makeup, like essentially. I didn't really powder my cheeks too much, but the inside center of my face is definitely very powdered. So I like to be very careful if I'm doing it in that kind of order. So now I'm going to switch to a much larger brush. This is a fluffy brush from the Makeup by Ariel brush collection with Morphe. I'm going to dip into the powder in that same compact and just set those areas that I use the cream. But I love this shade. This shade is like a perfect bronzer on me. Okay, now I'm gonna switch to a much smaller brush. Just gonna grab a clean 212 brush from BK Beauty, dip into that same powder, and then I use this to just lightly shade around my nose. And then kind of work it up towards the inner part of my crease. Nice. Okay, we're gonna go back to the Girlactik palette just to use a touch of it more, or a touch more of it. I'm gonna use the Ballet shade first and then dip into Skin, and I'm just gonna run a small amount on my bottom lash line just to give this a nice cohesive look. It just helps to tie the whole look together. And then I am running low on time. I have got to get moving pretty soon. So we're gonna get this lip on and the blush and then be good to go. So now I'm doing Skin. This is like my favorite brush for the bottom lash line. This is like the perfect size blending brush for that tight area of your under eye. It's the, what is this again? It's the A504 from BK Beauty. It's the Angie Hot and Flashy series. Okay, put these guys away. For blush, I'm going to use one of my favorites, so I don't use enough. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Powder Blush in the shade Pillow Talk. This is like just beautiful. I don't know why I don't wear this more often. I kind of forget about it, but it's one of the most stunning blushes. What blush brush do I want to use? Let's go very old school and use a really old Morphe E3. I don't believe they make this anymore. I'm so sorry if you're trying to look for it, but I don't know what's happening with Morphe. I don't know if they're going out of business or what. It's just so pretty. So placing it much higher up because you know I like a higher blush placement. Oopsie. Sweep a little bit across my forehead. And a teeny bit across my nose. Okay, that is on. I want to grab a finishing, oh yeah, I want to grab this finishing powder. So I'm going to go back to the Patrick Ta cream and powder duo and use the finishing powder, which I don't use enough, but every time I do, I always wonder why I don't use it. So I'm going to switch to a 108 from BK Beauty, and I'd like to use this like literally as a finishing powder. This doesn't actually set your makeup. It's hard to explain. It just literally finishes it, if that makes sense. I get asked a lot what the difference between finishing powder and setting powder is. Setting powders are going to be your loose powders. Those actually lock your makeup into place. That's what they're designed for. Whereas finishing powders, they just kind of finish the look. They help to blur fine lines even more. They help to blur skin texture. They help to blend different things together. But they're also great for touch-ups on the go. So like, for example, I would take this with me in my purse, but I don't think I'm going to touch up tonight. I don't think it's going to be necessary. Going back to mascara, and I'm sorry, but I am going to switch to my Girlactik because it has the best bottom mascara formula. It's the detailing end of this wand, or of this formula. It's like a tiny little wand, and it gets right into your bottom lashes perfectly, without making a mess and without clumping them. Okay, so that is on. My brows are they're not really sisters right now or twins. They're somewhere weird and in between. So let me just try to tweak them really quick. The more I look at them, the more I realize they're not matching. So hold on. Slightly better. Okay, grand finale. I can't wait to show you this lip. Oh wait, I lied. Sorry, I have to tightline. I can't go without it. I got tightline. This is the Huda Beauty Very Brown Kohl eyeliner. It's a retractable one. This is a really great pencil. So I'm gonna run this into my top lash line. And there's someone doing yard work right by my window. This just completes the look for me. Okay, that is on. For lip liner to go with this Clé de Peau lipstick, I'm going to use Milk Chocolate from Makeup by Mario. And it's just one of my favorites. And if you know how good it is. And if you follow me on Instagram and you saw like my 30 days of favorite lipsticks, I posted that back in April. That was such a fun series. I had a blast doing that every single day, like a blast. And I still need to do another series. I need to like do another topic. I'm thinking eyeshadows, but I haven't committed to doing it yet. So if you've been waiting for that, hang tight. It's going to happen soon, I promise. But anyway, I use this for so many lipsticks because it just works so well with so many different lipsticks that I love. But after a while, people were like, do you use anything other than Milk Chocolate? So I gave it a break after that. I'm like, I need to chill and just not use it as often because people were tired of seeing it. But I love it. Personal preference, you know? Okay. Lip liner is complete. But I do like to do this a couple times, so hang in there. This is like a part of the lip process that you don't typically see because it's cut out. But it takes a minute. But if you get it right, man, there's nothing like a perfectly drawn lip, in my opinion. So now, the grand finale is the Clé de Peau Cream Lipstick. It's kind of like a liquid lipstick, but it feels much more creamy and like cushiony and like pillowy and just really light. It's actually the best way I could describe it is it feels like a whipped lip mousse. That's what it feels like to me. So really comfortable. If you have like dry lips, you won't have a problem with this at all. And it's very long wearing. So I love formulas like this for going out to dinner because it stays put. This color is just something so special to me. It's so beautiful. Oh. Ooh, that could have been bad. Now you can probably see why I paired it with the Makeup by Mario Milk Chocolate. It gives it more depth behind it. It's Just makes it more interesting. I know these are crazy expensive. Trust me, I get it. And if I can find you a dupe for this color, I will. And then one more round of the liner. Just to bring that depth back in. Okay, we're gonna leave it alone because I have to boogie. But I'm gonna set my face one more time, or for the first time, I'm gonna use the Milk Makeup setting spray again and just set my makeup. So hold on. Ooh, ooh, that sprayer failed me. Oh, okay, it's got a little clog in it. Good enough. Got enough all over the place. So my makeup is done. I'm about to head to dinner with some friends, but this is my makeup look. Thank you so much for joining me through another Nikki Uncut. I hope this was fun, seeing the whole process. I hope you all have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next Nikki Uncut. Hope you have a great night. Bye! Oh, and also don't forget to like this video if you can, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you want to see my more polished videos that are chopped down, edited, and there's no mistakes, and there's, you know, less blending, you can check them out right here. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.